If I had any advice for Sunday, it would be to apologize to Pixie and the victims, not post a pinned comment half backtracking what you're saying. Also shower, get a haircut, go outside. You aren't mature enough to cover these sort of things if you don't have basic hygiene. The video made by Sunday's former editor
There we go. Thank you, Daddy. He's saying he should be writing for me. Is what it is. This guy's too funny. Willie put his video together, and it's one of the reasons I like it. I'll be perfectly honest with you, because I went the step further. I'm not terribly impressed with the victim either. It's just like you said, Jeff. They're all terrible people. And you know what? You could be a victim of something, and I think we said this when you were over here. You could be a victim of something and still be a piece of shit. I mean, if I'm a serial killer and I get hit by a car, I'm a victim.
You're a victim.
Yeah, you're a victim.
You're also still a serial killer.
But Willie goes after some of the people and the way they handled it, which is more interesting to me because I know Bit Destiny's a piece of crap. I don't need to. I said it years ago. I just looked up this tweet because I never forgot the tweet because I always said that the guy had a dark side. And I thought he was kind of leaning into authoritarianism, especially during COVID. And I actually wrote the dark side in my comment search, and I found the tweet. And I was like, "What do you make you?" This guy was like, "What makes you think that?" And I was like, "Yeah." It's just like to me, it was like always like on the surface. But I think a lot with this crowd is like you could be as psychotic as you want as long as you're on their side. And Destiny kind of moved away from their side.
I want to preface this video.
So. I don't know. This is like, let's see, it covers is all true. Co-host sweeping. Dan, that guy's a winner. He's always been like this. I love that. He confronts him, slandering the victim. And see, he does a thing on President Sunday, which I appreciate. And I think what he does with this is he shows that everybody's virtue signaling over this don't all have the best of intentions. They're kind of in it for themselves and, trying to use it to kind of manipulate.
I get that vibe with anybody.
Trying to move it. They're trying to move it up. Move up an influence. It's not even a YouTube channel. It's like an influence. It's weird.
I want to preface this video by stating that I was the only one that reached out to everyone involved in this story, and that the victims weren't just used by Destiny, but by YouTubers trying to frame themselves as heroes. One of them is still lying.
Yeah, that's to me, that's the entire video.
About what he did. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I personally care about the victims either. I don't know them. However, I do have the basic human decency to not try and sabotage them. I pride myself on doing a good job, and this video is finally up to those standards. So enjoy! Destiny is a political streamer that has framed himself as a moral authority. I've gone on his shows, cited his appearances often when covering the Red Pill. He's framed himself as someone who's fighting for respecting women.
I think there's
And that's another thing. He has not gotten rid of that. Like, why? He cannot say women. He doesn't, in this one, more than any of them. He cannot say women. He says singular, women all the time. Woman, if it's woman is plural. And it's like, I've never seen anything like it. And I talked to him, it was a couple of years ago. I was like, yeah, I do that. But this one, he really does it. It's funny.
There's an intention within DDG, from what I can tell, from what you say and what people say, to make women feel comfortable in this space. Is that correct?
There's an intention from me. There's probably an intention from part of my community.
He thinks teenagers should get dating advice from him rather than their own stupid parents.
Sure.
A person comes up to you and starts saying some weird stuff. You just sit there with this 13-year-old and then you start having conversations extended about them about dating.
Yeah, I have before. What do you mean? No, would I tell if a young person came up to me and they were asking me questions about some like boy problems or something? Yeah, I'd probably say, yeah, of course. What do you mean, I'm a 35-year-old man? Of course I'm gonna have better advice for them than some random high school person. Yeah, of course. If a 15-year-old girl came up to me and she's like, there's some.
I never knew about this.
What?
That's a weird reaction. what he's saying is if a kid like a 13, 15-year-old kid, 15-year-old kid, sorry, has like some dating advice, that he would kind of he would get involved.
Oh no! It's if they were asking, and
If they were asking,
he made it, he said boy problems.
Boy,
So
yeah,
to me,
girls.
that would, I would say it's a girl, but
It's not that. It's like all right, if a 15-year-old kid comes to me and is like, hey, I'm having problems with girls. Well, I would tip to the simple
love
stuff.
phones.
Yeah. Well, love phones is far we have a rule on love phones, no sex talk. But I mean, if it got sexual, I was like, look, I can't talk to you. And that's not what I find weird here. He could be saying, well, yeah, just talk to her or what have you. His reaction is just bizarrely angry. Like, why would that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know the whole context, to be honest with you. This is just a bizarre reaction.
We're going with a boy in my high school and saying, oh, no, don't talk to me, honey.
They're talking about Drake being in Bobby Brown's DMs. That's weird.
Go ask another 15-year-old boy, or ask your retarded fucking mom and dad who are going to tell you to never talk to any boys ever. No, what the why would you?
Who does that? Like, everybody else is just like a stat conservative.
Why would I not talk to you in person? Wait, what?
Yet Destiny has a longer list of women he's had sexual interaction.
Woman. I don't know why he does that. It's a thing. He's got a thing.
Actions with that now hate him than any of these guys. Almost all.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not that if he said, look, a 15-year-old kid asked me about dating, I would say that, but like I would specify nothing sexual, or anything
and
like
also
that.
not be angry about it.
And to be angry about it, yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
All of which have been labeled as crazy, unhinged psychos, liars.
Yeah, like, I can be a pretty cool motherfucker. And yeah, me and Malene have problems, but I don't think I f***ed with all of this. I'm not running around, screen sharing people's nudes, calling people ugly behind their backs while telling them I want to
Oh, yes, they are.
A recent link showed Destiny
Hindsight is
sharing sex
20/20.
tapes of his past partners without their consent to a 19-year-old named Rose in an attempt to get laid. I can't help but wonder, was there any truth behind their stories?
Things that's been done to me.
I don't trust her either, I gotta be honest with you. But she still could be a victim. Probably. But here's how I feel about a lot of these girls. It was on the surface. He was openly a womanizer. You walked into the lion's cage. You knew it. There's a certain amount of responsibility you got to take for getting your feelings hurt. It's not right that you got your feelings hurt. He's still a scumbag, but I mean, come on. You have some fucking agency.
Without consent or anything. That has been my past 5 years.
Then there's the aspect of how these stories broke, coming from two YouTubers, President Sunday and Beckett, who never reached out to the victim, were never
He mollywops Beckett, which is kind of funny.
Ooh.
Yeah, he does. I was a little bit surprised.
given permission to share any of this. Yet they did it anyway, confirming it's her in the leaks to the general public, framing her as a suicide baiter for saying she'd kill herself if her parents found out.
Pixie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do. Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented,
She was literally doing both of those things.
she chose to try and profit from the situation by extorting Destiny.
This guy didn't even try to understand the full story before making a video victim shaming her. While her parents certainly know now thanks to Sunday's journalism, if she dies, she dies, a risk he's totally willing to take.
I'm going to stick up for President Sunday a little bit. I don't know if that's a victim shame, right? I think he has every right to point out that she was working over Destiny, right? Now, I had a talk with Willie earlier today. He doesn't, I mean, he pretty much has the same opinion I do.
Stop the point,
like,
bitch.
I think what she tried, I think her friends asked for the money, and she wouldn't ask for, said she'd kill yourself. So if she's not asking for money, she got plausible deniability, while the other one's like, oh, give her this, give her that. And yeah, I think that's what she was doing. And I think President Sunday has every right to point that out. Using that as an excuse to go public, I think is ridiculous. I mean, like, I'm going to go public, I'm going to screw it up. And me and Willie feel the same way. Like, if she was raking him over the coals a bit, who cares? He kind of asked for it. Fuck him.
on behalf of making his YouTube video. After Pixie was forced to go public, she would have other women reach out, saying they also had their nudes shared without their consent. One girl even claimed she filed a police report on Destiny for secretly recording them having sex, which if true is such a violation of another person's privacy. I genuinely hope he faces criminal consequences for it. This is not the first time this accusation has come up.
The way that Lauren keeps saying this is that is implying that I'm recording me people or recording me like sexual.
What if you did it to her? Lauren Southern's a phony too, huh? She's getting involved with him.
Stop for something like that. That's how she implies it. When Lauren says it over and over again, that's what she's referring to.
The response
that guy's got, I'll tell you so. I've seen few people. I had a Puerto Rican friend, and he was a bit of a ladies' man and a bit of a womanizer. He always had crazy bitches slashing his tires and what have you. But he pales in the.
Very Puerto Rican.
But his name was Izzy, and he was a great guy. You would have loved him, right? God, he's almost 60 now because he's 10 years older than me. I haven't seen him in years. He had, because he was fucking ridiculously good looking, right? And he had that accent, everything about him. He was super friendly. I mean,
classic Puerto Rican.
He's super friendly, really easygoing. And he just had women. And
all
there were
things I don't have.
They were calling the cops on him, slashing his tires, threatening him. But he pales in comparison to Destiny. I can count all 5 incidents. Destiny had one every week, it seemed.
He gave on Reddit as well as in his stream come off as
Israel, Medine. Israel. It's
absurd.
It's actually one of the few non-Puerto Rican non-Catholics I ever met in my life.
Like he's the victim.
A lot of vulture culture streams tonight. A lot of clout hungry people.
When I was in my 20s, he was getting his 30s. So I'm getting in my 50s. So he's getting his.
That wanted to spend
60s.
12 hours reacting to this are going to be very disappointed. I'm sure they'll have their own conspiratorial reasons for why I'm saying what I am saying.
His friends have all disavowed him. His podcast host says he told his wife to leave him.
I'll say this also. I think Steven was a really shitty husband to Melina. Okay? I'm coming out here saying it right now.
You're so brave. I knew he was a shitty guy to women, and I never met the motherfucker.
I think Steve would deny it either.
I never met the guy.
The way that he was. I talked with Melina a lot of times, and she was crying and miserable and everything else. And Steve would say, what do you want me to say? I'm a selfish motherfucker. That's why I'm in the relationship that I'm in. He was like, what should I do? Should I leave? And I'll tell you this, I was never like, no, you should stay and make things out. I told her multiple times, listen, if you feel like this is an abusive relationship, get the out of there immediately.
Acting like he's betrayed because nobody reached out to him.
I want to write up a list of all the people, actually, hold on. Because there were some people that messaged me to figure out what was actually going on before they kind of decided to do all this crazy public stuff about it. I just want to read off a list of those people. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, and that's all of them. That was
that's so cute.
But shocking as well, but okay.
So I reached out confronting him, asking him pointed questions, and his answers were disappointing. So much so it made me wonder.
I can understand. Well, I guess if they're your friends, I can understand. I didn't fucking call you, but I can understand if you're doing a video or something like that to touch base. But I mean, the shit was out. I mean, it was clear as fucking day what he was doing. I mean, he's apologizing for it and everything. I think you can have an opinion on that without having to do research on it. I mean, you're doing a video or something like that, or some kind of journalism endeavor. Yeah, but I mean, come on.
I wonder why he would want anyone to reach out at all. His enemies would use all of this to take victory laps on Destiny.
First of all, okay, I would say that I'm pretty confident that everyone who was featured in these videos also sent videos of them and other people as well. But nobody talks about that.
Okay. What? Classic, I just made up a no you defense, but that's cool.
Hassan is getting a W over the guy who was trying to get him banned for the past 3 months.
You gotta admire Dan's loyalty.
Away all of his credibility because he wanted to goon. This is the sort of video I finish and I just want to shake my head in disappointment.
I want to goon too. Look, I goon every day.
To get through this. Rudy, we all have busy lives and we can't waste a day stuck inside sitting on the couch because.
So you don't drink, so you don't get this. I heard about Stern used to sell something like this. I'm interested in trying it, but I don't get drunk anymore, so.
We had a couple drinks the night before. Pre-alcohol is the first genetically engineered probiotic. It was designed by people.
You get shit-faced once in a while, right, sweetie? You gotta get this stuff and let me know how it goes.
Did that show, like, that one show did not tell you?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you got to take, if you're going to go out and hit it hard, I want you to get Z-Biotics. And I'm not being sponsored by them. I just want to see if the shit works.
Okay,
And
let's see.
just drink water. No, Willie says it's not enough.
PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. When you drink alcohol, it gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration. That's
fuck you, Lynn. Did you hear that?
Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct
Never
down.
Oh,
Just
somebody
remember to
says it
drink
does
this
work,
probiotic
actually.
before drinking
Oh, really? I'm interested.
alcohol. Drink.
Like, he's probably worked
But
for the
I'll
company.
be a test subject. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Well, hold on.
How much is it? I'll pay for it.
$12 a bottle.
Okay, I'll give you the money for that. I want to see what happens.
Let me figure. I need to figure.
Go,
this
you
out.
put it on a thing. You tell me what you spent.
Is it a one-use thing? Like, how many do you get?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
so.
take it. You take it
Three-pack.
before you start drinking. You take it before you start drinking.
Well, I get that part because I get that aspect because we actually used to have a product like that.
Oh yeah, you guys had that. Oh, okay.
We did, yeah.
Let's see if it works.
But I'll need to use the code Willie gives to see how.
Yeah, get code Willie. Buy a thing and then send me the bill. Okay.
The concept's pretty much the same. So.
Maybe we should do a stream over again. Like, how do you feel? Like, oh no, we should do a hangover stream, and like get you. And I'll do it.
Well, we could do one before and one after.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
One where I drink and then the one after.
We have to do one in the morning though, but it'll be late their time, so we get you up at like 6, like really early.
Oh God, that would kill me.
Yeah, I know, it'd be funny.
And get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow. Me and my dad just went on a father-son
Fight says to
vacation,
raise
drank-
Jeff's voice if he can.
Raise my voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
And it was Kite, not
One
JFA.
of these
So I
hit a
I
punching
trusted
bag.
it.
Might have broke my hand, but hey, he's the one who was sleeping until 9 while I got up and went on a 3-mile run. So who's the real dummy? Not me. What I know is that it works, and they plan on coming out with all sorts of products that have nothing to do with alcohol. So if you want to stay in the
something
loop,
to do
go
weed?
to zbiotics.com/WillyMac or scan the QR code right now if you want 15% off when using code WillyMac at checkout. And it's backed with a 100% money-back guarantee if you're unsatisfied for any reason. That's how confident they are in their product. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this video. For background information, all these leaks are coming from a 19-year-old girl named Rose is Coming.
That kind of shit is literally
Rose is coming. No, the whole thing's a fucking joke. You know, everybody can take this shit seriously. It's beyond fucking funny.
disgusting.
How am I supposed to take something serious when?
No, you can't. You can't. I mean, I don't know. Leave it to the drama doctors to you know, unacceptable behavior. I know I'm ripping off Bill Burr there, but that's the way I feel about it.
A little
Also,
girl.
Tommy,
And
Well,
I think it's only available in the U.S.
Yeah, if you want to pay.
we'll work something out, and I'll have it shipped to you or something. We'll have Jeff send it to you or something, and I'll pay everything. We'll do that or something like that.
Okay.
And I don't want to be
Reverse.
presumptuous. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry if this upsets you because you're 19, or I'm sorry if this upsets you because you're 22 or something, right? Or if you're some legal guy or whatever, you know. When you're 19, you're a little kid, okay? Now, if you're 22, a 19-year-old's not a kid to you, okay? I'm 29. A 19-year-old might as well be a 15-year-old to me. It's all the fucking same, dude.
Now he's 36 and still talking to 19-year-olds. This Rose person would either get hacked or leak the videos herself. We still don't know for sure. And all of these people's most embarrassing moments are now cemented online. Now, it's worth noting that Destiny didn't share these images because he wanted to embarrass anyone. He was trying to goon with Rose.
Just because of some legal age of consent, whatever bullshit, I have about as much in common with like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old freshman in school as I would a fucking sophomore in high school. Any type of inclination towards any of those people is really fucking weird.
I'm listening to clips of Destiny from last year defending himself.
Really? So he was on that whole kick? When do women gain agency? When are they allowed to consent to sex? When they're 30?
I think when they hit menopause, Tommy.
Yes,
I mean,
that's it. That's
yeah.
Otherwise, you know, anything you consent to is just akin to rape. I mean, that is a bizarre statement. I mean, at some point you gotta be responsible. It's not 15, but Jesus Christ.
himself from women saying that he secretly recorded them.
Lauren keeps
Wait a minute. Is he women or woman? Hold on. Why does he stop himself?
Any type of inclination towards any of those people is really fucking weird.
I'm listening to clips of Destiny from last year defending himself from women saying that he secretly recorded.
I don't know.
It sounds like woman.
A woman.
I think he's a woman.
It was like a weird mix.
It's like he tried to say women because Tommy C's gonna goof on me. You know.
Lauren keeps like typing messages that
That's
make
not
it
even a
sound
Midwest
like I'm secretly recording people having sex. That's what it sounds like.
And then, oh look, what am I seeing on Twitter? This girl named Sherry saying Destiny secretly recorded her and shared it with people. One of the leaked DMs is Destiny showing audio of a dude he hooked up with, saying this just ended with him finishing. Again, audio's scuffed because my phone was in my pocket. It was in your pocket? Was it there because he didn't know you were recording? This guy did an entire arc arguing with red pillars on boundaries with his wife and how you should treat women. These videos were not shared.
There he goes again. Treat woman good. Oh. You woman, I'm man.
Consent. One of the victims was.
He does. He sounds like a fucking caveman. Woman. Me want woman.
Pixie, who heavily trusted Destiny. She described herself as extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered. I had multiple long conversations regarding consent and boundaries with Destiny. Has all of these conversations about consent and boundaries and then does this without.
Who has fucking 12,000 fucking conversations about consent and boundaries? I mean, I just, I always went with, no, I'm not ready for that. Fuck. That's the only discussion I ever needed. No, I don't want. Like that's it. It's over. Like, how is this like a complicated thing? How so many young people have so much trouble with this? She says, no, you better not try again. And then sexual harassment.
Yeah, better luck next
For
time.
STS donated $5. Tommy UMF move your
I'll be right
mic
back. I gotta
arms
pull my
or
steaks off the
stop
grill real
raping
quick.
my ear holes every time you spank your desk.
Really? Well, I guess you're gonna have to deal with it. Go fuck yourself. Everybody's a fucking audio expert.
Consent. Amazing. The fact that Destiny didn't maliciously share these videos might matter legally. That will have to be determined, but it doesn't really matter for the victims.
I still think he'll beat it. Because I don't think everybody just like looks up the law and they're not lawyers and they don't know what can be worked around. And I think Destiny's got a lawyer enough to play. I still wonder if he beats. If he doesn't, fine, fuck him. I don't care. I'm not rooting for him by any stretch, but something tells me he's gonna beat it.
Now does it? Their nudes are out there for their parents, employers, and friends to see.
And I wouldn't find it be a bit surprised. Did DM King out there? Did anybody file a criminal complaint that we know of? I mean, I haven't gotten a thing from DM King about that. Because when a YouTuber gets a criminal complaint, it's in my fucking mailbox like in no time.
See, the leaks happened in November. By the end of December, Kiwi Farms, as well as many other creators, knew who the participants were. There were group chats talking about it. The most prominent victim in this story, Pixie, confronted Destiny about sharing her nudes without consent. I'm super sorry, there's literally zero excuses. In DMs, Aaron wrote to Destiny, you didn't leak it maliciously.
Oh, where's Jeff? The hell happened over there? I want him to see this.
He had to take his steaks off the grill.
Steaks off the grill. Oh man, on baseball. Man, I have no woman. I need woman. Take my steaks off grill. What?
Teddy said something funny. Treat woman good. No leak nudes.
No leak nudes. Treat woman good. I'm me feminist. Jesus Christ, this is so ridiculous. Nobody can handle sex anymore. Nobody can do anything. I mean, he's got less than no excuse. He's well into his 30s. I'm sorry. I'm willing to try. It does amount to like poor treatment to women. I'm a much more willing to not look the other way. That's the wrong word. But I just like, if some college guy's acting like a jerk off, right? And maybe breaking a few hearts here and there. I'm a lot more apt to kind of let him off the hook. And like, all right, he's growing up, just snap out of it. Then I am somebody that's like 35.
Bill Cosby donated $5. Take it from me, son. No means no. I used to be a famous comedian, the granddad of America, and now look at me.
You're great. Where the hell is Jeff? Is Jeff gone now? What the hell's going on here?
He's still here. He just turned off his face cam.
All right. Turned off his face cam. Jesus Christ. Where is he? How come I can't get him the other thing? All right, I screwed it up. So we'll wait till he gets back. I really want him to see this. This thing. Straight haired, which is probably extremely difficult to prove her case. She's not a high profile micro celebrity.
Well, he's back,
Oh,
but also I think the goal's over. So.
Oh, we hit the goal already. Oh, the goal.
No, we didn't hit it.
Oh, we didn't hit anything.
What's
Started
the goal
with a
today?
goal.
Oh, because Jeff. Okay, what does that entail?
Jeff shows his boobies. Jeff shows boobies.
Okay.
If you made the goal, there you go. It's gonna be higher. It's gonna be expensive.
Oh, and Tommy, your cam's gone now.
Yeah, relax. Jesus Christ, we can't be doing this. You gotta give me a chance. I'm doing more like coaching and stuff in there. I mean, I can't do everything at once here. You can't do that. Oh, this sounds well. I'll have to. It probably, we might have to start a new rule. Tell me after the show.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have to do that because what happens is every fucking stream, and then we have JFA on top of it, like doing it because he thinks it's funny. Instead, now we're like, all right, some mistakes can have to be fixed afterwards. You can't do this in the middle of the motherfucker. I mean, God, I talked at first. How many times this weekend? He didn't say anything. Well, now during the show. Oh, for fuck's sake, guys. All right.
End of December, Kiwi Farms, as well as many other creators, knew who the participants were. There were group chats talking about it. The most prominent victim in this story...
I didn't know who anybody was. I just heard he did it. Yeah, fuck off,
Pixie
Medine.
confronted Destiny about sharing her nudes without consent. I'm super sorry, there's literally zero excuses. In DMs, Aaron wrote to Destiny, "You didn't leak it maliciously, you distributed it non-consensually." Yeah, I know, I have severely damaged her. Confirming yes, he did do this, making him come off like a complete fraud. He has hours of content telling people how to live their lives, that they have no moral standards. Meanwhile, he's going on trips to Israel with his friend Lonerbox, while pocketing nudes of a girl he was having a thing with. There's a video of Pixie's dad thanking Destiny for being a good...
This is rough. Watch this, Jeff.
friend.
First of all, many thanks for being a friend to my daughter.
Yeah, no problem.
She doesn't have any friends.
That's not true. You're
No,
so
she has a
mean.
shit ton of friends.
Okay.
But she appreciates your friendship.
Cool.
And I appreciate that.
2 years ago.
That you are friends.
Thanks. Well, I try my best. I'm a friendly person,
Bruh.
Being a friend to my daughter. I mean, you don't know anything about this guy? I mean, I guess the boomer guy isn't.
I don't know, but that guy has a little too much zest in his system.
Yeah.
A little too zesty.
Well, what I understand, although in fairness, I haven't seen it. I was told that you don't have to become a commentator by sleeping with Destiny. Look at me. That's why I don't really have a lot of respect for her. I do think she should get what's hers, but I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't really have any respect for any of these political commentators. They seem to be the most off their rockers, the most detached from, I don't know, normal human interaction.
This is painful to watch. Pixie is talking to Kyla here. They're friends, but Kyla is a conflict of interest. Her and her husband moved from Canada to work with Destiny. They uprooted their whole lives for this. Pixie emphasizes Steven has to face the consequences proportional to his actions. I want this to be the most expensive mistake of his life. I'm essentially asking him to punish himself in a way I don't think he will or agree with without the law getting involved. I don't have a dollar amount from the top of my head. It just has to be enough for the rest of his life. If he thinks of the word nude, he associates it with the amount of money he lost.
This is such a woman way to look at something. I need to punish the rest of this. My ex-wife said to me, "You will be in pain the rest of your life. You'll see. And divorce is painful, but I think I got laid for the first time 3 days later after she left. So I dealt with it okay. Yeah, you saw my ex-wife. "You will feel this forever." And I'm like, I am going to bang the first chick that gives it. I mean, it's exactly what I did.
$1 million is a price that gets thrown around in later DMs, and upon reading that, me and a lot of other people initially laughed, but then I thought about it. If somebody leaked my nudes, I would want their head. I can't have that, so $1 million from a millionaire sounds fair enough. Kyla then starts to look like she's protecting Destiny in these messages. It wasn't clear to me before that this is what you wanted specifically. My understanding is it was more of a sense of rehabilitation. Now this was only...
I thought you wanted rehabilitation. I want money! Thank you for the Teddy is free. That's right. They still have Danish crowns. They're not in the euro over there, are they?
Only one leak. You know how many times he's probably shared these nudes and not gotten caught? But Kyla's like, "Pixie, you don't understand. He's super sorry." In an interview Kyla gave Tom, it comes off as her looking out for Destiny.
Just to me, recording somebody and then without their knowledge and leaking it is
like a full-on, like it's a pretty like sexually invasive crime. Leaking somebody's nudes, I think, is also really bad.
It's really bad. I love the language. She's supposed to be some kind of like a psychiatrist or get involved in therapy or something like that. It's really bad.
Clear. Like it is.
I love how it's not okay. That's my other favorite. It's not okay. This is not okay. Not cool.
Really bad. But the issue is that I think it's fundamentally just a more common issue that people do. It's definitely, in my experience, not the first time that somebody has like leaked nudes.
Sounds like he's talking about two like 8, 9-year-olds that got in a fight in the soccer field. Hey, boys will be boys. There we go.
I think it's not okay. Like when you hear about,
it's not okay for 9-year-olds to punch each other in a soccer field.
Guys like showing other guys like tits that some girls shunter. Like I think it's gross, and there's a reason I don't look at.
I mean that's that's I agree. It's less severe, but.
So this isn't
a bunch of high schoolers, right? This is a 35-year-old guy who's doing this.
Sure, but the law and morals are different, right?
Boys will be boys is a crazy statement coming from someone whose last video is about feminism. She's like, only if Destiny does the worst thing possible.
Yeah, because it's boys will be boys when it's their side. Their boys will be boys. There's no doubt about it. Like, let's just say I'd be willing to give a college kid in treating women poorly, running around being a little bit of a womanizer or what have you. It's still wrong. You know, it's not cool to, because in order to be a womanizer, you have to lie. There's no way around it. I told you about the Wiesbaden trifecta, right?
You might have.
One in Frankfurt, one in Mainz, one in Wiesbaden, and then you rotate. And we'd all fucking brag about it and shit, right? I tried it. It lasted about a week, and I'm like, I can't fucking lie like this all the time. And I was worried about one of them stabbing me, but one of them I was kind of like, I didn't know.
You're not that big of a piece.
Every
of shit.
time, I've done things that I absolutely regret, but I started regretting it after I had a girl. Yeah. So you start looking at the world like real differently. But it's the one thing I could not stand, honestly, is keeping it. Like, what does Mark Twain say? Tell the truth, it's easier to remember. And my memory. I was just sure. I never fucked it up, but it's just close enough. I was like, why don't I just date the girl that's in Wiesbaden instead of trying to show off to my fucking friends? I was trying to show off to the black guys in the motor pool. Yeah, I can do it too. Yeah.
Well, will it matter to me?
The way I'm getting painted here is like really, really far from the truth, and I don't really know why.
You don't know why?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
I know.
Brutal. She says that Stephen showed accountability and a step-by-step plan on how he was going to correct all of this.
Basically, the moment that I saw like remorsefulness, accountability, and like a step-by-step.
Is it really too hard to say that she's trying to keep the business thing, him afloat, because she makes a lot of money off him? Is it really that difficult to say? Is it really ridiculous that, Pixie was trying to get some money out of the thing? And you know what? Who fucking cares if she does? She deserves it.
Plan of like how he was going to correct the issue. That's when I was like, okay.
I can't get you full screen now. What the fuck happened here? I lost yours. Nah, just like I used to be able to get you. I don't know what happened here. It's me. It's not you.
Hey, I can still work with this person because it's like the try and the accountability that matters to me.
What was his plan? Because all I saw was Destiny blaming his actions on being off of Vyvanse. Apparently, if he's off of his meds, he doesn't have to respect people's privacy. Interesting symptoms. I want to point out that Pixie stands by that Kyla was being a good friend despite how she comes off. It's worth acknowledging that. When this story hit the wider public, Destiny gave a statement on Reddit. He titled it "Legal Arc Beginning in Mysterious Ways." Such wow. Which shows how unserious he is about this whole thing. Like, what if he gets criminally convicted? Will he label that his prison arc? He says he had no intention of these images or videos leaking, and that he hasn't spoken up for the following reasons. He was going to pursue litigation, most likely against the hacker and sites hosting the leaks, and that he didn't want to bring publicity to the material.
The hacker's the only one that I think's in any danger at all. Pentagon Papers, baby. Once it's out there, you can report on, especially if it's a public figure. And Kiwi Farms let Destiny know that recently.
3, I've been trying to move on from covering drama content as it has had an increasingly negative...
That's when you know your goose is cooked.
Okay, buddy.
Working day to be a listener, not a chatter. Your laugh always cracks me up. Have a sick show. Thanks so much, Kenneth.
impact on those in my life. You want to move on? Now that the drama's about you, it's not fun anymore. People always act like they're above covering drama when they become the subject matter. For one person,
Not me. I had to suck it up every time.
Walt has expressed suicidal thoughts in relation to the matter, and I did not want to exacerbate the situation by talking about it publicly. Now that's a nice sentiment, but it's already
Destiny wanted to masturbate the situation.
all out there. The real reason he's quiet is because
that is so lame. That is the lamest joke I think.
Never worse.
Yeah.
Never worse.
Going through litigation. I can't help but roll my eyes when I read parts of this. I increasingly felt uncomfortable by the language being used regarding to financial punishment and wanting to teach me a lesson, along with constant references to the precariousness of someone's mental health. You're being punished. It's not supposed to.
I have a more problem with woman. You know what? I should redo the whole fucking video and upload it. Whenever you let me, and then I'll use that sound effect. Hold on. Let's see. I'll sound out. I don't know. A fact?
Well,
I don't know.
Just go Google Translate in English,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and then you can have it spoken to you.
Woman, that'll probably give you some interesting
Yeah, you know what we should do? We should put that on the soundboard. You know?
Mm.
No, it isn't. Oh, God, they didn't. Oh, ridiculous.
What, you're trying to get the sound effect to play women?
Hold on. Yeah. But every time...
Just type in how to pronounce women.
Fuck. What the fuck happened here? Oh, fuck.
You have to switch.
Stop it! You gotta give me a chance.
I can't because it's.
No, I know.
painful.
Stop! Please stop! Please stop! You don't let me do it. It's more fun. Actually, it's more funny to watch me fuck it up than you to correct me.
Women. 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 Women.
That's we need to get that sound effect.
Women.
There we go.
Will do.
Be comfortable. You know it's bad when the top comment is, I wish my streamer watched horse porn instead.
I want to f a woman as a horse.
I can't believe Destiny gave this guy a W.
Women.
And his return stream wasn't any better, using the same song Dr. Disrespect came back with.
You really had the balls to do that?
Destiny's response isn't great. He's since banned all the alleged victims from his community. He said, bro, if I need to go on the sex offender list, I'm taking 20 other streamers with me. Oh,
It sounds like he's remorseful.
hey, W. Who are these 20 other streamers? Is there a Google Drive where perverts on Twitch upload other people's nudes? I repeat, how long has this been going on for? How sorry could he be? Not very if he's been covering for 20 other streamers doing the same thing. But then I'm seeing Destiny's co-host Dan on one hand
Women.
disavowing Destiny for what he did, and then on the other hand threatening acquaintances.
If you're one of my coworkers out there and you're making your little bit of a strong statement about how much you condemn Destiny and everything else, you better not let me find you doing something else and signing some other bullshit off for someone else or being weak. Because if that's gonna be the case, either be all the way in or all the way out. Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you.
How about I'll do what I want? Shut the fuck up.
All these half in the door motherfuckers, too much of a pussy to do anything else. Like, I get it, fine. If you're a content creator, you rely on this for your fucking life, then fine. Then f off. Then say that Destiny's a pervert, all that type of shit, and fucking go away forever. And that's what you should do. And f off permanently. Same front there, I will say that I think that Steve has changed a lot, especially over the last year, where he is not like that type of person anymore. You guys don't fucking you don't see it because you don't know who he is.
You believe he said that? I don't want to hear about how much he's changed when this has all just happened.
But if you think that you're going to say a strong statement, say that you're not fucking with him right now, and come back in 2 months, fuck you, is what I have to say. You're worse than anyone. You're definitely worse than me.
Yeah.
At least
I don't know. I can say what I want. I didn't do anything close to what Destiny did.
Honest about the situation. I've known the dude for 15 years. I can say that what he did was fucked up. He knows what he did was fucked up. He knows that he has to change, and he knows he's gonna have fucking consequences for it. But for fucking you're just a fucking weasel. All these motherfuckers that did this whole shit,
Some of them are right. Some of them he's right about some of them, but
way in, all the way out. Any of these motherfuckers try to come back in after they've done their little strong.
Am I allowed to do it? Because I always thought Destiny was a scumbag.
Yeah, sure.
Am I allowed to say? Am I allowed, Dan?
Weasel statement, doing it. that noise.
How do you know he's changed, Dan? Did you know he was doing this? It's such an odd statement. How is Dan playing both sides this hard? So unless you stand by Destiny, you can't ever engage with him again. It's about to be a very lonely career. Abba called out Destiny, pointing out that this was always where his lifestyle was going to lead, and says that he has no respect for anyone he's intimate with.
I think that people look at some of the standard markers for trouble and they, for some reason, project a ton of stuff onto me, but I think I'm living like one of the healthiest, fullest lives that I possibly
It's funny.
could be.
You know, constantly having poor relationships with women over a long period of time, or in other situations, STDs, different things like that. Eventually, that hedonism comes back to bite them in the life, and they also recognize they could have been investing that time a lot better.
That's right. Minus the hedonism in the religious context, I'm sorry. My life experience, anybody that keeps doing this after 30 gets in trouble. Everyone. If you, like, look, I'm a live and let live type of guy. Do what the fuck you want. But there's going to be a consequence for it. You know, I mean, you cheating your wife long enough, she's going to find out. There's going to be a consequence for it. I mean, like, this idea that you can have this sort of alternative sexual lifestyle, I guess that's my wording, and like that nothing can or should ever happen, you're out of your mind. I got news for you. You know why? Because women aren't made like men. It hurts them a lot more. Sorry. And all these empowered chicks that they have lots of sex, as soon as they get cheated on, man, they become a damsel in distress. That's my life experience.
Oh, shut up, Melina, shut up. Let him talk. What do you mean? Constantly what? Anything.
And as for you women out there, if you want to date guys like Destiny and you want to, sure, go ahead. No, I bet he's fun. I'm sure it's a blast. But there's a consequence. Guess what? He's going to be like all the other ones that are like that.
You do in life that's going to increase like your ability to like have fun.
It's actually crazy the women are willing to fuck him. And not only that, the super lefty ones that are always worried about fucking consent and boundaries and the way women are treated, they're the ones that were fucking them the most. Except Lauren Southern.
Or do like crazy stuff or whatever, it's always going to carry with it like the risk of death, right?
Absolutely.
Like you have no chance of dying by falling out of a plane unless you go skydiving, but that's not an argument. It's never skydiving.
But it is an argument against maybe skydiving 1,000 times if you don't want to die that way.
Well, if you want to skydive 1,000 times, then
I actually agree with Destiny there 100%. If you want to do it, go right a fucking head, but don't act like a fucking bitch. It's like the Marlboro man suing fucking the cigarette company for giving him cancer. I mean, it's the same fucking thing. And that's
skydive 1,000 times. Like, what's wrong? Damn, what happened to all the self-empowerment shit that you guys were talking about earlier? If your lifestyle choices are like, damn, I would never want to deal with like a crazy girl or anything like that, that's totally valid. I think it's totally fine. I accept that that's probably true for most people.
I actually agree with Destiny 100% on this one.
But like, I'm okay with the trade-off on that for like all the benefits that I get.
And I bet he looked at trading people's news as walking the line and taking that kind of risk. That's how fucked up that is. Most people talking about that are like doing extreme sports or something dangerous. Living dangerous. It was fucking over breaking girls' hearts. I'm living dangerously, baby. Look how cool I am, you know? And there is something to be like, if you're, what I've noticed is women, when they see, like, they hate guys that womanize unless they're attracted to one. And then all of a sudden that womanizing becomes attractive in itself. This is a guy that gets chicks and bang. Women are into that because I'll change him. I'll fix him. No, you won't. You might fix a 21-year-old, 22-year-old. You don't fix a 35-year-old.
I like f***ing a lot of people. I like traveling a lot. I like doing drugs. I like my stream shit. That's like super fun for me. To be like, well, doesn't bad stuff happen sometimes so you shouldn't do it? That doesn't compute to me.
Or others, because I think the main thing with this is you have to think about the activity. The activity involves hurting others. Like even
bingo, right there. He's right too. But I agree with you. If you want to do it. But don't do what Destiny did. Act like a fucking victim when it all falls apart.
Destiny, as good as he is at what he does, probably can admit he's broken a lot of hearts. He's disappointed a lot of women. He's made a lot of people upset. It's not just how he feels about it. When you involve other people in this kind of pursuit of pleasure, other people get hurt as well. I'll stand by what I said at the beginning. I don't feel bad for Steven whatsoever because he knew what he was getting into.
He said he knew what he was getting into. He said it. He said, look, this is part of, hey, I'm taking, don't give me the fucking, don't give me the speech about the risks. I know the risks, and I want to have the risks because I don't want to have a boring life. I get that. That's why I joined the army. You know, everybody's like, you're crazy, you get killed. Yeah, I know, and I get killed walking down the street too. But I wasn't hurting anybody.
Brazen about it. When he was warned, When you said, hey, this is a bad idea, this is a bad lifestyle, he said, I don't care, I want to have fun. It's fun for me. That's why I like these mentally ill women.
He's had this public view for years. But no, guys, Dan and Kyla says he's changed in the past month.
Yeah, exactly.
Currently hanging out with like a streamer that does like denial all day, every day, or that has someone on a DUI or something along those lines. Like, it's gonna be once we find that out, I think that's like gonna be kind of a rough.
I get sticking up for your friend, but this is awful.
One to be like why you threw someone under the bus just for clout.
Such a weird threat to throw out there to try and keep people in line. Well, I've hung out with a person who got a DUI, Dan. What are you gonna do about it? So I reached out to Destiny for some clarification. There's no point in even reading them to you because he copy and pasted the same response to every question, that he doesn't want to comment farther until he's past litigation. He clarifies, I'm aware that these answers are super unsatisfying, and it sucks it looks super guilty for me to respond this way. And even this might be saying too much, but any statement that I make could become part of a record for any court case, for any number of things that are foreseen and unforeseen to me right now. And there's a possibility that I say something that feels true, but ends up not being true in the future. He then gives an example on how seemingly throwaway comments can lead.
I'm surprised he even talked. That's just what an egomaniac he is. Like, if I was in Destiny's position in a WillyMacShow, hey, I want to touch base. Fuck off. That's what I would have done. Fuck off. I am not giving you a statement. But he's such an egomaniac that he had to talk to him.
To big consequences in court. He's right, because honestly, what is he supposed to do? Incriminate himself? He's going to let the legal process play out.
Yeah,
so
I don't blame him there.
If there was any false narratives being pushed, and if there was anything he wanted me to say that wasn't already public, he replied with people validating prior individuals who are insane, despite there being no evidence to validate them, is crazy conspiratorial nonsense. I assume he's talking about Mr. Girl's document, where he lists every girl who has ever had a problem with Destiny. Destiny continues, there's obviously multiple affected parties, but it's rich that all of these people who cry about cancel culture and innocent until proven guilty have no problems making the most insane assumptions about a man, and have no problem engaging with people who are insanely toxic when it comes to male victims of any kind of weird sexual shit. He defended himself a bit more on Twitter against Nick, saying, I didn't admit to anything. Meanwhile, you can just read the messages where Destiny says, yeah, I know. I've damaged her severely. I love that. Because you caused all of this. There is no expectation for Kiwi Farms being the good guy. They have the leaks because you shared them with Rose. He goes on to say that people named Lav and Kelly Jean have been distributing his nudes, revenge porn in the literal truest sense. How many crazy women are part of this guy's life? At what point can I victim blame him? Ryan Beard's telling a story about how some girl named Anna is stalking you, and your solution was to sext her.
He did stalk me.
That she locked. Okay, then why are you sexting with her still?
We're cool. We've been cool for a year, Max.
Okay, so you acknowledge that you've been sexting with her for a year.
Yeah, we've had on and off, sure. Well, Max, can you acknowledge that I haven't said anything bad about her for a year? I've said we've been fine. I've said that over.
The last time I talked to you about her, like 2 weeks ago.
That was that crazy chick that was up his ass every week. It was hysterical. You sent me something. What did you send me, Jeannie?
Oh, it was just the amount.
Oh yeah, I'll send you the money.
Spotter.
I'll send you money. Okay.
No, just send it to
16 days
Burst.
ago or something. You said that.
Simp-Man, hang on. We'll get to you.
She locked you in the basement of her mind, and it was a traumatic experience for you. Locked you in the basement of her
in
mind.
the past. In the past, Max.
Oh, okay.
Why? Tell me, Max. Why hasn't Anna come forward with any of this information now? Can you tell me, or do you want me to tell everybody why?
I don't want to speak on her behalf.
Okay, I will. It's because she said she literally wants to remain friends with me.
He had his whole community feeling bad for him being stalked as he was doing this. There are parts of streams where he's condemning people for sharing nudes non-consensually.
Yeah, you know, me and Melina have problems, but I don't think I f***ed up at all in this. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes.
Bro, this shows that he knows this was bad. He was using this to expose someone. The embarrassing part about this drama isn't that a video leaked of Destiny sucking an Oscar Mayer, it's that he's thrown away his credibility. He comes off like a fraud. We did speak in the off-the-record voice.
And I think that's the point of the whole fucking thing, is everybody's a fucking fraud. You know, everybody's just virtue signaling to no end, and the whole thing is just, at the end of the day, an extremely hysterical but very unfortunate event for the victim. But it is fucking funny. It is terribly, terribly funny.
Voice call, it was not recorded, and he was giving off the vibe that things might not be what they seem, but because of litigation, I couldn't know what he was referring to. I certainly couldn't just
Yeah, that's kind of what he said to Nick. Oh, you'll see at the end. You admitted to it. And maybe he's talking about the other girl. Maybe the other girl's lying about something. Wouldn't be shocked. Maybe some of these people that are coming forward now are just getting on the bandwagon and making up sorts. Maybe, I don't know. The problem is now you have to kind of take them seriously after what happened.
Finally believe him. You look at his social media and he's memeing about the whole thing, posting himself dressed as Dr. Disrespect. Yeah, Dan and Kyla, you're right. Destiny's totally rehabilitated and remorseful over this whole thing. It's very obvious. So is Destiny's career over because of this? Well, if Tim Pool can frame himself as a patriot while secretly taking Russian money, Vosh can say Lolly makes you a pedo while
was
having
he secretly taking Russian money?
I heard that.
Was he?
I heard about it.
Well, I mean, I heard Destiny said he should have known rather than, like, I mean, I don't know.
Folder full of Lolly. Hassan can frame himself as more credible than the media while reporting every story wrong. And Tyler Oliveira can pretend to be a journalist while just making up stories on the spot. Then why wouldn't Destiny recover from this? Let's be honest, the real punishment is Hassan will bring this up every chance he gets.
I can't believe that there are still Destiny fans in here. He kind of made you, though. Why you so ungrateful? He brought you in, no. Why not just talk it out, bro? He was your friend at one point.
Talk it out, geez.
Dude, I don't know if you understand. We're having a conversation about this dude serially making sex tapes of the people he sometimes consensually and sometimes non-consensually records and is unconsensually sending to other people that he wants to fuck. And you're like, why don't you become friends with that guy again? I don't know, because he's gross.
And
he can't fucking knock us out there. I mean,
Hassan is totally right. You know how hard that is.
You know what that friend sounds like to me? Why don't you talk to Keem? Why don't you go back to bed? Why don't you go talk to lolcow? Why don't you go like it's all for your entertainment? You know, it's
to say, again, if you're a left-leaning political viewer, your options are cooked. But seriously, it seems like if you have a political audience, you could get away with anything. You have Joe Biden's millionaire drug-fueled son getting pardoned after he said he wouldn't do it, and Donald Trump, our current sitting president, was part of an electoral scheme. But no, this is when political audiences finally take a stand. Sure, these audiences will excuse everything because they think the ends justifies the means. Hearing Lonerbox lay out his 2025 aspirations is hilarious until you realize how true it is.
I look forward to some time coming back when I can like brand myself as the only remaining political streamer who doesn't have doesn't have sex scandals and doesn't support terrorists. For some reason, it's always one or the other.
They're very.
I wonder if he jinxed himself.
Very musical people.
Are you being serious? Dog, what do you look? You think I made this? This isn't music. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shoot. This isn't a music video, Hassan.
No, it is. They do musicals about like they're
killing people,
their actions all the time.
Yeah, they're militarized action.
When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the way like goblins get drawn in porn.
The fuck?
They get a butt straight up the ass raw dog with the rat.
Destiny was objectively wrong for this and deserves all of the backlash. I think it's important to acknowledge that the people who exposed this story were not looking out for the victims at all. In fact, they were actively working against their best interests. In comes President Sunday and Beckett. Neither of these people had direct contact with Destiny, Kyla, Pixie, or anyone.
Yeah, Beckett's gonna take it good.
Else involved in this story. They never even tried to reach out, yet they were the ones who posted videos outing the whole thing. The only information they have comes from Aaron leaking all of Pixie's messages. They are only working with second-hand information. In Sunday's video, he says Pixie's silence was bought in exchange for Destiny paying for her law school, leaving all the other victims out to dry.
Pixie has since said nothing publicly. There has been no evidence of legal proceedings being pursued, and she has seemingly ceased communications with the people she was previously working with, instead posting on X about taking the LSAT in pursuit of law school. It appears as though her attempt to extort Destiny has probably paid off.
So it's allowed, so you're allowed to fucking dump it. That's so funny. See, she doesn't have the right intentions. She doesn't have YouTube growth intentions. Those are righteous. That's stupid. I don't care if he leaked it or not. Fucking somebody would leak on me and not give a fuck or touch base with me. But give me a fucking break.
Off. Albeit at the expense of every other person Destiny has victimized in the past and will victimize in the future.
His evidence for this is a single tweet of her saying she took the LSAT, as if you could just sign up and pass this test within a month. So at this point, my mind was blown that someone would out a victim for a 100K view video while the victim was still discussing their options, and then determine their silence was bought over a tweet. No need to confirm anything. So I reached out to Pixie to try and confirm if she ever talked to Sunday or Beckett about this. Pixie has pursued litigation against Destiny. However, she did let Lonerbox, who she's dating, provide some details.
Did President Sunday reach out to Pixie one time to see if he could go live with this video or to confirm that the draft was canceled or anything like that?
No, he didn't.
It is so incredible.
Do you remember when do you remember that Rolling Stone article? A rape on campus around 2014, 2015. And it turns out they did a whole thing about this like conservative guy, Republican guy on campus. They didn't name him. Had brutally raped this girl, and he had brutally raped this girl. None of it could be substantiated, and Rolling Stone printed it, had to take it down. They didn't name the guy, but it turned out they didn't touch like the whole reason that even the left went after these guys. But the one thing they cited is they didn't make any effort to touch base with the guy that they smeared. Like I say, is any of this true? Like there was no, like, I remember the Young Turks doing something about it and say, do you remember that? Because it was around the Patrick Kane time. And that's something, it was around when we were covering Patrick Kane. And I remember like all these journalists saying, I remember Chang specifically saying, you got to, when you do something like specifically like this, you have to touch base. You know, I mean, I don't have a problem with people having an opinion on fucking Twitter and not, crossing every T and dotting every I, dotting every I. But Jesus, if you're going to put like a, I mean, Rolling Stone's got this journalism reputation that goes back all the way to the mid '60s, and that was the one thing they said. They didn't touch base with them. I think that's a reasonable criticism.
Incredibly selfish of Sunday and Beckett to insert themselves into a situation where they take agency away from Pixie. Because one, she's pursuing legal action, and you guys making this public gives Destiny ample time to delete evidence. While Pixie's team was still built.
I think if he's deleting stuff now, I don't think he can. I think that would be obstruction. If you start deleting stuff, that'd be obstruction.
Yeah,
but he's got to get charged too, or he's got to get a court order or something like that.
Yeah.
Too. But yeah, if he deletes everything. It depends on what he deletes. If she calls for something and she can prove it exists, and he says like I can't find it,
building their case. I know I look smart enough to come up with that point myself. I'm not, so take that how you will. 4 days before Sunday released his video, he had a conversation with Nick acknowledging that Pixie was suicidal over this leaking.
All I'm getting from this is she's really not going to want this to be public.
So he was told.
She wants to hurt Steven, but she doesn't want this to be known that she's done this, and this is her.
Yeah.
And she desperately doesn't want her family to.
But I desperately want that video out.
And if I cover it, there's a good chance they will find out.
Oh, 100%. Why do you think I haven't covered this at all? Like that's my principal issue.
Yeah, that's
is like
what's principal issue?
Here's the thing.
This guy
if anything happens to Pixie in the foreseeable future,
it all drops.
Well, he will actually be destroyed then. That will be insurmountable. Not destroyed. He'll have his channel. He'll have his audience, but there will be no
politics.
The media company dream will not be a thing. So
it sounds like he's getting excited over the idea.
That's what it does sound like to me.
Of Pixie killing herself.
I could like it does. It sounds like if that the worst case scenario happens, I can deal with this optically. That's unbelievable. Yeah, little Getty. I think I could do this. I think I could do it. I could do this.
Ending Destiny's career. This dude sounds like a psychopath. In fact, during his call with Nick, he gives a hypothetical saying as much.
Here's the thing. Let's assume I was a psychopath, and I'm not. Okay, somebody.
No, you're not a psychopath, but you're just one selfish bastard.
Saying these things would be enough to deter me. Let's assume I was a psychopath. Let's assume I published this.
President Sunday talks with Nick.
He published it, 24 hours after you had that conversation?
Agree that going live without the victim's consent is a bad idea, and President Sunday does it anyway. Actual psychopath behavior. President Sunday's justification for this was that Pixie was...
You can call people psychopaths, and when I do, everybody's like groans.
engaging in extortion against Destiny.
Fortunately, Pixie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do. Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented, she seems to have ultimately...
She didn't victim right. you need to victim better. Pixie was an egg to break the Destiny omelet. LOL, don't worry.
To break for the Destiny omelet, LOL, don't worry. They'd still give thoughts and prayers.
Oh man, let me hear this again. This is so funny.
Someone in her position could do. Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented,
I'll do it for you, sweetheart.
She seems to have ultimately chosen to try and profit from the situation by extorting.
And what he's trying to do there is justify his reason for dropping it. And then, like, he's got that so-called, like I don't know, like all these guys, all their moral fucking codes go right out the window if they really, really want something. If the moral code gets in the way of something they want, then it's right out the door. You know, I mean, treat women respectfully, except the ones that disagree with me.
Destiny.
I'll never forget. There's a video of Shank. It was one of those. It was the Gamergate crowd of the Honey Badgers, and there was a woman that ran it, and she turned out to be a grifter. I think Mediger did a video on her, but it's not the point. The point is this: as soon as she said something that Shank didn't like, he starts telling her to go make him a fucking sandwich. Like, all this shit goes like right out the window with these people. If it's, you know, if the ends justifies the means. Was it the means justify the... Which one is it, Jeannie? You're the English professor.
The ends justify the means.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I understand how Pixie...
I'm dyslexic. I got it backwards.
Discussing what her next step is or what the correct form of punishment should be, equaling extortion, because that's how most civil cases start. Destiny even says in his statement...
Quack's got the really important question. Is Sunday Jewish? I don't know.
On Reddit, that Pixie at no point made a specific or explicit request for compensation. So I asked President Sunday, did you talk to a lawyer?
He's soy, that's for sure.
Or is this just your layman interpretation of the law? Because let's be real, I don't think there's any way she gets charged for this. President Sunday says, yes, I spoke with lawyers I know. You know what their answer was? Obviously. I asked, can you link me to the statement from the lawyer you spoke with, saying these DMs count as extortion? And he says they were IRL conversations, so no. So I asked who the lawyer was because I would love to confirm this. And he replies, it's someone I know. Go find your own lawyer. It's so obvious to me that he's lying.
Well, that's one of the reasons I think he's going to get off. More than likely, it's because these guys don't know the law as well as they think they do.
And you're telling me that you talked to a lawyer, but...
And the thing is, there any... I know she's suing him. I know Pixie's suing him. But that's civil. Is there any evidence of criminal any filings?
Donated $5. Did Willy just say layman?
Yes.
That's worse than woman.
Woman.
Get any on-the-record statement for your video? Sure. To confirm it even farther, President Sunday did a stream leaking all of our DMs.
Look at that sweater, man. Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not here to tell anybody how to dress, all right? It's not like I'm Mr. Style, but Jesus Christ. I mean, Grandpa wants a sweater pack.
Yeah.
His editor Keith,
and I guarantee he wears it because he thinks it makes him look sophisticated. Guaranteed.
Came forward exposing that President Sunday never talked to a lawyer.
He claims he's consulted lawyers about this. Originally, he told me, Kilo, you're not a lawyer. I was raised by one and took law courses in university.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He really said that? That's like, I know lots of psychiatrists. I'm seeing a psychiatrist.
But then when he was talking to Aiko, she asked if he spoke to lawyers, and he said, I spoke to people who know lawyers.
Who did you speak to?
Good question,
people
Aiko.
I can't name, but just
lawyers,
trust me on this.
Lawyers.
People who know lawyers.
But then...
So it's like his information, secondhand.
He literally did trust me, bro.
Yeah, it's a trust me, bro.
Trust me.
He doesn't see the irony in that. I guess like it was different for him, I'm sure.
When he was talking with Willie Mac,
when you see yourself as a sophisticate, you can just pretty much do anything.
He said he spoke directly to lawyers, but won't mention who.
So Sunday is just lying to make the victim seem like a
Pretty
bad
much.
guy, so he doesn't.
I think we can. We don't have proof of the lie, but yeah, I can pretty much come to the conclusion the guy's lying. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking
So
about.
many people have said Bo Black's moment.
Teddy donated $5. I'm actually opening up a school to teach these bitches how to victim properly. So ladies, if you were ever victimized by Destiny, please sign up to be a student at Teddy's Academy of Victimization.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not victiming right. Therefore, I can sit there and talk to Nick. Like, no. That's one of my primary concerns. He shows the video the next day. Oh, well, she was trying to bribe him, so it's okay. Who made that rule?
making his video.
Beckett of Crabs, myself, and President Sunday sat down to present evidence, put together a timeline, and establish what the mission of the project was.
It's like all these like. I almost liked it better when the videos were entertaining and not done like these faux sophistication. Make them funny.
I was a little anxious, but also excited to learn what President Sunday had, and I wanted to find out what the justification was for coming out with the story, the nuke.
Who is this guy that I'm looking at? What? I haven't seen this video. Do you know what I'm looking at?
I think the guy's name is Kilo.
That's Kilo. Okay.
But we started the
think so,
meeting,
yeah.
and after only about 10 minutes, I interjected. Sunday didn't have a nuke. I'm not even sure Beckett had much of anything. And the only real reason for publishing that was given to me was that because Pixie was supposedly trying to extort Destiny, she was somehow implicated in the cover-up efforts by Destiny and his associates, and therefore had forsaken her right to privacy.
I didn't pick up on that. I'm an idiot. Yeah. So that's why he justified it. It's because she's hurting other victims. That's what justifies it. Oh.
Or something like that? I don't know.
Sunday does every stream and
Kilo is Sunday's ex-editor who feels bad he edited the video. Is that also the guy that got oh no, I'm thinking of somebody else.
in front of a wall of books, draws himself sitting on a pile of books. He's so knowledgeable, repeatedly calling
Yeah, I think he's just a shithead YouTuber with a deep voice. That's it.
stupid in DMs for asking straightforward questions. Meanwhile, he's comfortable just making things up because he's
Political agenda and a deep voice and very, very little talent.
saying I don't know or I could be in the wrong. The dumbest people I talk to seem to think they're geniuses.
Yeah,
Just
I
a
noticed
pattern
that.
I'm recognizing. He's lying about being an intellectual the same way he lied about talking to a lawyer.
Yeah, everything's about him. It was all images. I'm an intellectual. It's like fake as fuck.
I'm not convinced he could read Dr. Seuss. He's malicious. He's acted like a psychopath. He outed a victim's story when she was working on the court case.
Sim, man, I will be back up Sunday. He introduced me to the lawyer, very famous lawyer as well. He helped me. He's a big YouTuber, Mama.
Slandered her.
An American citizen who finds themselves a victim of revenge pornography has several valid actions they can take. Let's go over 3. First,
high knee, paddle driver. Walk the ropes. Tombstone.
Choke slam.
Choke slam. Choke slam.
Second, they may make a public statement denouncing the person who leaked the materials and violated their consent.
You are violated.
And in fact, this can be done
You can fucking get him, and you could hit him up for money too.
in conjunction with the first option I mentioned. And finally, they can choose to do nothing.
I don't think it's illegal or even. Is asking for hush money a crime? I don't get paying hush money is a crime, but asking for it, I imagine if it's asking for it or else, maybe.
They can stay silent and hope that it all blows over, and this is their right. But Pixie did not do anything.
Yeah, Pixie failed the victim purity test. Yeah, she did.
These.
She was in the middle of doing the first 2 things, and then you robbed her of the third. But yeah, keep acting like the good guy. He's the type of person I hope never becomes a successful YouTuber. If you're a victim, why would you ever
he doesn't have the talent, I don't think. He needs stuff like this to keep afloat.
want to share your story? He's shown it's going to leak, then people you've never talked to are going to publicize it. You will be vilified by them because they don't care about you or your legal case at all. If I had any advice for Sunday, it would be to apologize to Pixie and the victims, not just
Fuck no, that's.
Just post a pinned comment half backtracking what you're saying. Also shower, get a haircut, go outside. You aren't mature enough to cover these sort of things if you don't have basic hygiene. The video made by Sunday's former editor details the clown show that was this investigation. It's the most comedic tragedy I've ever watched.
With all due respect, I'm not sure you think you know what you're saying when you say you have to, because when you
I didn't say have to. I didn't say that. You said that. I said you have an expectation, and you said, well, I don't have to do that. And I'm not saying you have to do anything. I'm saying there's an expectation that you do this thing. When you're communicating with someone in private, they're expecting that you're not going to show that to other people.
Or record them.
Ask them first.
Okay, but if they're asleep, they're not expecting, are they?
If they're asleep?
They're asleep, yeah. If people are asleep, they're not expecting anything. They're kind of just out, right?
Are you trolling me right now?
No, I'm actually making a serious point.
The conversations he had with his editor are psychotic.
Why the f are you adding extra risks to this? We're already in enough danger as is.
You think we're in danger? I don't think
we are in tremendous danger. So you don't think, for example, if you said something that was able to be effectively spun by someone like Nick DeOrio that managed to get some traction that cast aspersions on my entire channel, that income plummeted, so I can't pay.
He is a fucking maniac. All right, he's right. This guy's a psychopath. Absolutely. WillyMac's 100% on this guy. This guy's nuts.
Hey, you. That doesn't affect you?
It's about me. How does this affect Sunday? How can I manipulate my editor into staying quiet?
And that is the mark of a sociopath. It's all about them. Kind of like Destiny.
I also talked to Beckett, who worked somewhat with Sunday and dropped his video on the same day. Now, his wasn't nearly as bad, but he still went forward with the video knowing only secondhand information. Really third-hand because he's getting it from...
Yeah, it's funny. They're going forward with second-hand information, and they would have loved to shoehorn, probably WillyMac too, and everybody else that had heard it second, like me was third-hand, right? As people that were sort of complicit in this girl getting victimized. It's so wild.
Sunday.
Nick Diorio knew he didn't do anything. Jeff knew he didn't do anything.
Recognize your...
And that's what they wanted to do, because that shows you they're not trying to help out women or people that are victims of this kind of stuff. It's all about moving up the YouTube chain and getting rid of your enemies.
Information, secondhand. At any point, did you try to reach out to Pixie?
No. But to be clear, this was a very brief period, a couple of days. I clearly did want to reach out to people. There was actually a conversation where I wanted to reach out to Lonerbox. Because I don't know Pixie.
But why did you reach out to Lonerbox?
I didn't. But that's partly because of what Loner had just done on the stream. I think that's a mistake, by the way. I'll own that mistake. But I obviously wanted to reach out to people. For instance, I went to FPS Diesel for an optics check on the DMs and what he thought.
You can go to me.
I was reaching out to Nick.
Nick and Diesel, no less than Beckett and Sunday. What does going to them do? Realize why I'm so critical, though, of you and Sunday? Because hold on, you're telling me, though, that this was done over a couple of days. You didn't bother...
Poor Beckett's getting willied.
...to reach out to Lonerbox or Pixie, and you guys went for the story anyway. How did you even get the draft? Was that from Aaron, too?
Sorry, get the
draft of, like, Pixie's draft statement.
Yeah, I showed that in the DMs.
Yeah, where'd you get it?
So you guys have a draft from her. It seems like she's going to...
That's the biggest crime that Beckett committed. He went forward with the draft. It's got to be the final thing. I mean, it does make you guys look like you're chomping at the fucking bit to get this out. And you'll deal with like all the the downside of it and all the rules of the sort of ethical rules you're breaking. You'll deal with that as they come. That's what it looks like to me. And that's what I mean. I gotta be honest with you. Like, I'm sure President Sunday's grown from this, but he hasn't got any. I don't think he's got a ton of respect.
Come out in some way because she has a fucking written draft. Like, it just seems, it blows my mind, man. Like, you've been somebody where I've been told over and over again, nah, dude, Copenseed is great. He does great videos, takes a lot of care with them. And it's like, to me, I look at this and I'm like, I cannot believe, it just seems like such a selfish story.
Well, hold on. Let me be clear. I don't think selfish is that. I think I can take a lot of criticism. I think there are issues there. But I don't think selfish is that.
In what way is that not selfish?
Well, because I didn't do this to get clout or money or like acclaim. I thought this was going to end my fucking channel. Sunday was going to release a video. I thought, I know Sunday, and I thought what needed to be done at the same time was painting a picture of what had happened behind the scenes to explain why so many people had these DMs. Mm-hmm. What I needed was Sunday's DMs with Straighter Aid. I didn't expect this to be a video where I'd get like pats on the back.
Again, why you think it would damage you?
What, the video?
Yeah, before you made it.
Because I recognized that once these were coming out, the people who were releasing them would get rightfully a fair amount of criticism for doing so.
Then why
but
would
I
you
also
release it?
Because, well, for some, I've said publicly as well, if Sunday wasn't releasing his video, I wouldn't have released the same video. I probably wouldn't have acted in the same way. But Sunday looked at these are coming out.
I mean, come on, Beckett. Look, what Beckett told me was this guy was going to shoehorn Diorio, and the kind of video that he was going to put out is he was going to try to attack the so-called sweepers. He was being a sweep hunter or what have you. And he thought that he could influence it in such a way that was a lot more fair. That's why he did it. Now, I don't know why that explains what his video, justifies his video. So maybe it just sounds like to me like, look, this thing's coming out. I'm ready to go with it. Once Sunday breaks the seal, I'm going too. I mean, all this other stuff, like I thought it was the end of my channel, or I thought that I did this all for the best of reasons, and maybe you did. You have to. That's a trust me, bro. I mean, it's just like all your guys' ethics goes right out the fucking window if the ends justify the means. Like, I like Beckett, I do, and I do think he went in there trying to have Sunday, because if it really, and this is why, honestly, this is why Beckett should have stayed away, because Sunday would have completely fucking discredited himself if he went after Nick, tried to shoehorn Tom and fucking Willie. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about Willie. He would have discredited himself, because that's completely fucking insane. And it would have took a day or two, but once it got straight, it would have been realized, wait, you guys went ahead with secondhand information. The people you're trying to shoehorn in had enough principle not to do that. Beckett did tell Sunday not to pause, and Sunday ignored his advice. And well, that's basically what Beckett told me. He was going to do it anyway. I don't know how that justifies putting his video out. I don't get that. I mean, the seal was broken. I don't know.
He wants to talk about it. Well, okay, it needs a companion piece.
So because he is jumping off of a bridge. You're doing it too, dude?
It's being Irish.
Oh, man.
Well, and again, that's why I'm saying it's something I expected to do damage to me. But also, what was the other option? Lie about it?
No, the other option is to do
hold on.
Everybody else did, and you just let everybody else shoot themselves in the foot if he's going to be reckless with the victim and her claims and hijack her story.
You got it.
Do you realize she was talking to lawyers during?
You see, I generally believe Beckett probably did see it at some level as a sacrifice. I don't know about ruining his channel or anything like that. I do believe that. I talked to him. I could be fucking wrong, but I was hearing that he's talking this way. One group of people, and the people that are critical of Willie, he's changing his story up. He's going back and forth. I haven't seen that. That's what I'm hearing. But I mean, this does make Beckett look just fucking awful. And I generally like the guy.
This, and they're gathering information. Crazy.
Listen, I'm on many levels. I'm with you. And I think one of my constant comments through this is
basically what he told me is he fucking threw himself on the fucking cross because this guy was going to fuck it up even worse. That's what he told me. And maybe hurt people I cared about. That's what he was explaining to me. Shut up, you fucking dog!
This reached me. I am like 5th person down the chain. How does this reach me with no one doing any of that?
It just makes me go, how were you the person to feel like
you
you should make...
This is the part, because he's of Irish descent, obviously. I'm gonna be a hero. I'm gonna be White Knight. No, it's not up to you.
That video.
Because I thought it was such a fucking mess that at least I could make an uneditorialized.
That's what he told me. That's what he told me. And he Beckett's romantic. He's willing to go down for a good cause. He would gladly give his place on the lifeboat as the Titanic's going down. And the thing is, if that's sincere, and I think part of it is, it's still it doesn't make you look good either way. And you only can go so long with, well, I'll just take it on the chin because my sacrifice. And then if that happens too often, it just sounds self-righteous.
I don't think was as bad, but just the premise of this whole thing. When I talk to everybody, it's just
first says he only will go down if he can be the hero, and that would be my point, Beckett, because that's what it looks like. You're doing this stuff because you think it's the right thing, and it can be easily spun and believed, legitimately believed. It's not so that you're just doing this for your own fucking reasons.
I think it is a mess.
Beckett is the only person I talked to that acknowledged wrongdoing and said he would go about things differently in the future. Takeaway seems to be what I think is the most important thing, and that's that you have to reach out to Pixie. You got to make clear, or Lonerbox, and you got to make clear of hey, this is what I know. This is the story I'm thinking of running. I want to know what's going on with this. Are you guys pursuing anything? And then they could go ahead and give you the guidelines to it. Hey, look, we're talking.
If he was just a straight drama tuber and said, I don't give a fuck about your stupid fucking rules, I never followed them or anything like that, I'd be like, well, whatever. That's his fucking ethic. He has none, but at least he's consistent. But the problem is he comes from a crowd or a wing that says they have these ethics, and it just doesn't look like he does.
Legally, we'd rather this not come out.
Yeah, like again, I'm not defending every part of this, and I don't want
but
to.
But the thing is, they want to go out and say, this poor girl Pixie, I care about this particular issue because it's important to me. And if some guy came and said, I'll put it out because I found it, fuck you. I respect that a hell of a lot more. I mean, it's still lousy, but at least it's consistent. And there's a real inconsistency on this wing. And I think Willie did a really good job of pointing that out.
I mean, this is how I started the call, right?
Which is more than any other person I talked to. He became very critical of himself, especially as things moved on.
I think he's a good guy. I know Verse really hates him. Do you know that? Do you hate him too?
Oh no, I don't know too much. I don't know too much about him.
He's got red hair.
No,
Fuck him. Look at him. He's fucking ginger fruit. He's probably got his ass kicked the whole time.
Verse seems very positive about him in the chat.
Verse hates his guts. It's so amusing to me. And here's why I like him. And there is some, I think, like with me and Cabo's little Irish brotherhood there. I talk to him. He takes it on the chin so well. He's like, yeah, you know, he never gets angry, at least in front of me, right? He's just like, you're almost like, you poor slob. I hope he means well, but I mean, how many more times can this happen? I'm not sweeping for fucking him. I like him. That's not a sweep. He fucked this thing up royally, and he's taking it in the ass, and he deserves it.
The record, I respect him for that.
Verse says, hey, Willie, it's Beckett.
I admit my first thoughts was a trick. You look so good, huh? I suck on your daddy's dick.
Every day that
that was a lyric from fucking Biggie. I didn't know that. You ever heard a man try to romance you like that, Jamie?
No, I don't think so.
You look so fine.
Done...
I would suck in your daddy's dick.
No, I don't think you'd want to.
Yeah, no, you like, oh, you look good though. Who says that?
Passes the drama gets more hilarious. Destiny and Hassan are watching each other's content nukes while refusing to view their own. I get he's going through a legal case, but at some point he needs to address that video. During my off-the-record...
Not really. I mean, should he? Probably, but no, not really. You don't have to do that.
Conversation with Beckett, he asked me a pointed question. When would you associate with Destiny again? If he was part of some drama as a side character and I interviewed him, I would do it.
Yeah, I might have said Willie by accident and meant Beckett.
Then, but I don't think I could just...
Yeah,
go hang on his podcast anymore. Destiny and I were not friends. However, I have a lot of respect for him. He's the only major creator in the political space that I have covered that actually looks stuff up, reads first-hand information, and directly engages with his critics. That may seem like a low bar, but it's rare. He's so
it's pretty low. But it's because everybody else sucks.
That has always demanded accountability from others, but right now when he's objectively in the wrong, he's not taking any of it. He's calling Nick a hypocrite.
I mean, like when that guy got shot, his whole fucking thing was, well, conservatives have said worse. That was his whole argument. It's like, yeah, you think what I said was fucked up? He's like Steven Crowder.
For saying innocent until proven guilty with Ethan, but not treating himself that way. Nick then makes very clear, you shared Pixie's intimate videos with a random 19-year-old OnlyFans model, and then posted logs where you admitted to severely damaging her. And he links the messages of Destiny doing just that. I'm the kind of person that could forgive anyone for about anything, but there needs to be remorse, and he's obviously not there yet. His coworkers cover for him saying he is, but I don't see it. I don't see how anyone could take him seriously until then. I also want to emphasize how good the video was by President Sunday's former editor, Kilo. He actively tried to correct the record, and his video has very few views. He gave up money to try and do the right thing, and I think that should be acknowledged. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel, and shout out to the homies over on Patreon.
What'd you think, guys?